Welcome back.
Welcome.
What's the Crack podcast episode?
13.
I like how you did that. That was pretty good.
I got it wrong the second time.
Throwing up gang signs up here.
Just, trying to communicate to the aliens.
So that's what the crack is. Alan, I think you should take over this podcast today, bro. What's the crack? Like, what's your family doing? I thought they were meant to message us when they're coming to visit. We turn on the TV. We don't watch TV. We turn on the internet the other day.
Turn on the internet.
Yeah, I'm just going to turn on the internet and see what fuckeries are on today. Aliens. So what's going on, bro?
Oh, they're not related to you? Oh, that's
they're not really.
So when's your fam coming then?
But
shall I get the samosas ready? Do you think they're coming soon?
Before we actually get into it, I actually have a question for you that I've not asked before. Do you believe aliens exist?
I really don't have an answer for that. Because I feel like there is, obviously you exist, but you're different. You're from a different planet, so it's different. No, but real talk. I think it's a tough one, and I think it's difficult to say either way, purely because the only information or evidence that you have of there potentially being life is from like the news or like information released by the government. And I don't mean to be funny, I don't trust either of those guys. So there's that. But then on the other hand, it's like, oh, but surely we're not the most intelligent life in the universe, Surely there's like something else potentially. I don't know.
Yeah.
And then like another part of me is like, well, this is just a video game anyway, so maybe there's no aliens in this video game. So maybe there is. You just don't know.
You just don't know.
So yeah, I think it's a difficult one because when I was when I was younger, I was fascinated by like the whole space and alien phenomena. But like when you grow up and you kind of think about it and you think about, oh, this information is being released. If I was to see one myself or come across some evidence myself in the sense that like, oh, I've seen a spaceship or I've seen this, then
I've seen this creature.
Yeah, and it's easier.
Put stuff up my butt.
Exactly, it's easier to be
exactly. Yeah.
Exactly. It's easier to believe stuff like that. Like I've watched so much. I think the topic is fascinating. I've watched so many documentaries, so many TV shows, so many things are related to aliens. Read so much stuff about it as well. But I kind of like a part of me.
Ancient Aliens, History
obsessed.
Channel.
But
I'm not saying it was aliens, but it was aliens.
The thing is, I watched so much Ancient Aliens as well. It's so amazing. We should watch it again. But I think they explain everything as aliens, or could be, when there's potentially other worldly beings or other beings that are out there that they can't really explain as being
They haven't got
human.
the answer for it, so it's like, it's aliens.
So I guess in that respect, yeah, I do think there are like other beings that have existed in the past. But do I think aliens exist in the way the government's telling us, and the way that it's all a bit like, I don't know. So yeah, like the debate is always ongoing in my head, and I'm always fascinated to learn more.
Yeah.
Or hear what the government have to say about it.
It's just so hard because if you were to ask me only a couple of years ago, do I believe in aliens? I would have said categorically 100% yes. I was like, the universe is infinite. We are not the only planet in that universe. Like the Milky Way is something like 330 billion light years in diameter or whatever, with all the stars in our galaxy. There's millions of galaxies. How can there not be one planet, just one planet in one of those galaxies that has intelligent life on it? Not only intelligent life, but intelligent life that has been on their planet far longer than we have. Imagine how far humanity's come in, say, 1,000 years. How far another planet where they've lived on it for 10,000 years. What is their knowledge like? What's their technology like? Or what do they know? Like, what are they capable of?
Yeah.
Like, so in the space of our 50 years, the last 50 years, look how our technology's advanced.
Yeah.
So there's a point with technology where obviously they get to this certain level of computing,
and
where
they're way ahead. Multiplies. They're way ahead to what we can actually use and see.
Yeah. It's like 40, 50 years ahead or something. The military
40,
is.
Yeah.
Something like that. So yeah, I would have categorically said that aliens are 100% real. There's definitely life on other planets. But to be honest, now I'm actually questioning if I actually believe that planets exist. Like, real talk. I'm like, because I know everything from Hollywood is a lie. is a distraction. It's there to program. So they're showing us aliens to either get us used to the idea of them because that's what they actually look like and they are amongst us and they are coming and they don't want it to be like a shock. Because imagine never seeing a green alien or a grey alien as they often portray them, and then one day they invade. You're going to be like, what the fuck are these things? Like, no concept of what an alien is.
Yeah.
It'll be like the Rapture. Do you know what I mean? But if you've programmed a generation of people over decades to be used to the idea of aliens and alien invasions and showing them in films, then it gets you used to the idea of, all right, well, when this happens, if it ever was to, at least I kind of not expected it, but I'm open to the idea because I've been exposed to it. It's like going in a jungle for the first time back when you were a tribesman and seeing a tiger. You would have fucking lost the plot. Do you know what I mean? An orange, straight, spiky thing with massive fangs and paws roaring at you. You would like go mental.
Yeah.
But you know, you don't go mental now because you're used to it. You see it. So it's hard to say. But you know, on the flip side, are they just showing these things of aliens and they're just depictions of them? But actually, that's not what aliens look like at all. If they do exist, they're just trying to manipulate us to believe that that's what they look like. Because how can you trust what they show us anyway?
Exactly.
So it's very hard. And you know, if you read the scriptures of the Holy Bibles and the Quran, it says in them that Earth is a plane of existence. It doesn't say anything or any reference to it being a sphere or a planet. So in that case, if Earth is a plane, then how does space exist? And what's outside of that plane of what we call Earth? Is that where the aliens are? Maybe they don't come from space at all because the moon landing's fake.
Well, that was going to be my next question to you. Do you think they've been to the moon?
No one's ever been to the moon.
I have two theories about this. I think one, they have absolutely not been to the moon because they just can't. I watched the video of the moon landing. It's all BS. It looks so fake. And if you look at the spaceship, you're telling me they travelled to space in that thing. Come on. Like, come on.
You know what the funniest thing is about the whole argument of, is the moon landing real? The computing power in this phone
is
stronger than the computing power they had to put a rocket ship on the moon. Not only land it, but bring it back too.
Bollocks.
Okay.
Absolute
okay.
Absolute bollocks.
Okay. And not only that, all the flight data for the mission, Apollo 2? Apollo whatever number, they lost it all. This pioneering mission to the moon where they put a human beings on this terrestrial thing, moon, what would you call it?
A ball of rock.
Nah, but what's the actual astronomical name for the moon? Like, what is it? A moon.
It's a moon.
Terrestrial thing, the moon. They went and lost the data for it. Surely that what? You would not protect that with everything you've got. It'd be like in Fort Knox because that's important data. If you ever wanted to go back to the moon, that is something you'd keep.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, we just lost it. Sorry.
The other thing that I think is really interesting about that, obviously, like the whole video that they've shown us looks hella fake. So fake. It doesn't even make sense. It's like laughable. Like you have better CGI.
The way it lands. It's
everything. Isn't the flag moving as well? Is that
the flag's not moving. It's still, but it's in the air. It's like, well, the moon's got no atmosphere, so it shouldn't. Or is it moving?
No, it's moving. And it's like, hang on a second.
There's no atmosphere, so how can it be doing that? Yeah.
Like, where's the wind coming from that it's moving? So there was that. And then also, they obviously, what was it? Neil Armstrong, Buzz Lightyear, and I can't remember the third guy's name. Poor guy probably is always forgotten in history.
Buzz Aldrin.
Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin. Did I just say Buzz Lightyear?
Did you?
I don't know. I'm a little bit tired.
Maybe you did.
Okay, the third guy, don't know what his name is, but it's probably a good thing for him to be associated with such a thing. They did an interview, their first interview after they've come back from this moon landing. They are so unenthusiastic. They look so uncomfortable. They don't look happy. If you had just been if you were the first people on the moon, you would be unbelievably gassed to come back and share the story and how great it was. You'd be so enthusiastic. You'd be talking about, we're talking about going back.
One of the biggest feats of human history.
You've done it.
You went to Space G and bullshit. Came back.
Yeah, and if you watch the interview, honhonestly, they are so...
Because they know they're lying. They know they're lying to a whole...
So
not even just a nation, the whole planet.
But they never did an interview again, I don't think.
You know Neil Armstrong? Take the first letter of his name, of his surname, A, and then Neil. Spell it backwards.
Alien.
Playing with that. I'm not saying it's a coincidence, Alan, but that sounds like a coincidence.
But yeah, I think they've not been. I don't think anyone's been, if I'm completely honest. If they have been, whatever happened, they don't want anyone to know because it was messed up. If they have been,
yeah.
So that you know.
If they have been,
it didn't go well.
If they have been, they haven't told us about it, because the way that they told us they went, wasn't it?
Yeah, 100%.
It wasn't
100%, 100%. And I think they only did that because didn't they want to go to the moon before Russia?
Yeah, there was a space race during the war, and it was obviously to the.
So I know what we'll do. We'll just stage it like a lot of other
technological superiority, and it was like this massive thing, similar to how you've got like the battle for the internet right now, or crypto space, and all the other shit going down, Web3 and AI. Back then it was rocket ships.
I don't know what's more laughable, the like stage footage of going to the moon, or like the Jihadi John like beheading people from ISIS. Like, I don't know what's worse.
You know what it is? Is it Iron Man 2, where they kind of have this Osama bin Laden actor, and they kind of show you the behind the scenes of them playing this role of this terrorist, and then there's a set and he's saying these things, and they're putting it out as like he's this mass terrorist, but really he's just an actor that they paid
from the streets.
That's Hollywood showing you what they fucking do, man.
Exactly.
And it's the same shit here.
And I'm sure in the TV show Scandal, they touch on this as well, where it's a similar sort of thing. They've got like a stage, it's all about politics and stuff, and like everything goes behind the scenes. And I'm sure there's like an episode or something where they touch on a similar thing.
It's banter. It's actually banter. So it's frustrating because, like, I'm not even gonna lie, seeing this US intelligence official under oath, say that aliens are real. Like it means anything, but still, for him to say it in front of government officials is like, you're basically signing your death warrant.
Yeah.
He said that, yes, there are aliens. We've got them. That was like my wet dream. I'm not even kidding. All I've wanted my whole life is to know someone to come forward and exist, like or have the proof and actually be able to. Yep, there's aliens. There's a galactic federation. There's different planets and this, and they've got this technology, and they've come here to teach us whatever. Even if it was to come to exterminate us, I don't give a fuck. I just show me aliens. Let me see why I go on. Like, yo, there's.
Can I come in your spaceship one time?
One time. Let me just press.
One
just
button.
One button, please. Let me just hit your hooker one time. See what I go on, do you know what I mean? Like, what drugs do you have? Imagine their version of mushrooms, like turn into a light beam. But yeah, we're finally getting, I guess, semi-full disclosure, and it's just, rather than being like ecstatic and excited, I'm like questioning it. Not because I think it's true or not, but more so it's like, why are they showing us this now? And do aliens actually exist then?
And also, you have to remember, he's an army official. They do whatever they're told.
Yeah.
They always do whatever they're told.
Exactly.
They're always on job. Always. Like, you can call him when they're 17 and be like, we've got a job for you, buddy. And he's going to be like, reporting for duty, sir. Gets his
USA activated.
Literally. And I think that's the thing. They'll if soldiers can go and kill whoever you tell them to kill, why wouldn't they just tell you whatever they're told to say?
Words is easier than killing someone.
Exactly. Of course I'll say that. Anything else? Do you want me to wear anything?
I really like this job.
Should I put on the waterworks? Or like, do you let me know, I'll do it. Give me the brief. But yeah, I think it's one of those things. It's always a question of why. And it's funny because even like around 2010, I feel like around that period, loads of like alien movies started coming out, lots of stuff. And back then, because it was going to be 2012 and the world was going to end or whatever, and people were talking about like, they're priming you for aliens, they're priming you for aliens.
It's like cyclical, isn't it?
Yeah. But, if to prime someone, you've got to do it for a very long time to get it into them, get them used to it. Get
into their psyche.
Yeah, exactly. So they're playing the long game here. So I'm intrigued to see what's going to come of this. But didn't something else interesting happen that day?
Oh, yeah. Sam Bankman Fried. We'll call him Fried, isn't it?
Fried egg.
Fried brain. Yeah. Basically got let off the hook for one of the biggest financial scams in history.
Well, that's what happens when you
worse than what's his name? Bernie Madoff.
That's just wild.
He scams billions of people, collapses the crypto industry worse than 2020, the biggest collapse on record.
And he's allowed
and he gets some scot-free, but scot-free. But you know why? Because he paid off the politicians with stolen funds from people from the exchanges. 90 million he paid to Democrats.
That's wild.
He was having meetings with the SEC whilst they're suing other crypto companies like Ripple.
I'm sorry.
He's having meetings with them behind closed doors. What are you having meetings with him
I
for?
thought he was in the Bahamas and like hiding there.
Oh, he was. Yeah, he was in the Bahamas chilling. They arrested him. Went, didn't even go to trial. Judge threw it out.
And this, my friends, is why white-collar crime is the good thing to do.
I'm telling you.
Nobody who does white-collar crime ever gets in any trouble.
No wonder he was smirking when he was getting the charges. He was thinking, I'm untouchable. But that's what money and influence buys you. When you give it to the right people, when you pay off the right people, then you can get off scot-free.
Wow.
I'm telling you. Like, much smaller scale. But look at the story Mum was telling us today. The drug dealer was on charge for killing someone.
Was it a police officer?
Well, his friend was the police officer, and that was his protection. He died somehow, committed suicide. Obviously, the police killed him. They get to this drug dealer. Drug dealer goes to court, comes back 2 days later. Why? Because he paid the judge 60 grand.
Wild.
60 grand.
That's so wild.
Sorry?
And imagine people who've gone millions and billions of pounds.
You can do whatever you want.
You actually can.
And you can imagine how that power goes to these people's heads.
Yeah.
They think they're God. I can do whatever I want.
You just throw money at it.
And imagine, combine that with having no morals.
Yeah, it's deadly.
No values.
Deadly.
Well, just all you want is a lust for power, greed, and money.
Yeah.
And that's what these not all the problems, but a vast majority of them come down to psychopaths with a lot of money and a lot of power. It's mad.
That's actually wild.
It's mad. But yeah, so
90 milli.
We've got aliens potentially landing, but this has been a story that's around every.
But what happens once they land? Like, so what? So what if you're here? Do you want to hang out?
It depends what they're here for, innit? Are they here for peace, or are they here for something else?
There was that video that I saw. Was it of Ronald Reagan? And he was like, "Oh, well, it would be a shame if like some threat from another world,
outside threat from another world,
was to, threaten the human race to remind us how we can band together and blah blah blah."
Like, I'm sorry. Let's actually just like look at it rationally. If aliens are coming to destroy us, no weapon forged by man will fight them. They will be gods compared to us. Their technology to get to this planet trumps anything that we can do.
Yeah.
We can throw nukes at hydrogen bombs, all the blacklist weapons that they've got. It don't matter. Unless we've got their technology, it's like fighting fucking a war with paper and they've got guns.
Yeah, fact.
Do you know what I mean?
Let me ask you an interesting question then. So, there was that Roswell in 51 or whatever. Mm-hmm. And then after that, a lot of people say technology went from like here, like it blew up.
Yeah.
Do you think that was because of Roswell? Or do you think because how like in ancient history, there's so much that's unexplained. Like, how have you built these pyramids? How have you cut this giant stone to precision? How have you done this? How have you done that? Is it that the aliens came and they got the technology from the aliens? Or is it that they found stuff that they used in ancient history and haven't disclosed it to everyone? Because there was a video this week about like the underground city in China.
Yeah.
And that's wild. Like, where did all this, like, it's a massive city that's been built underground. They've carved it into the ground.
Yeah.
Carved it into
the rock.
Into the rock, and there's no rubble to be found anywhere. So where has it all disappeared?
100,000 cubic tons.
Tons. That's a lot of rock. How are you
than Leeds?
Like, how are you disappearing that much rock? And so the question is, there's so much. It's
all handcrafted as well.
So there's so much evidence in ancient history that indicates that the ancient people had so much technology, or they had something that we don't have, that we cannot fathom to this day.
They had the abilities to do things that we can't conceptualize.
Exactly. So did they actually find aliens in Roswell, or was that just staged so they could say, oh, well, we reverse engineered their technology? Because even if you did somehow find a spaceship for another planet, who's to say that their technology isn't so advanced that you can't?
Be able to
how can you reverse it?
Exactly. It would be incomprehensible to you. It's like explaining rocket science to a 1-year-old. They're not going to be able to reverse engineer it because your consciousness isn't at the level of theirs.
Exactly.
Also
there's the whole language barrier. There's understanding their technology. You don't know what that planet has.
None of it would make sense. You're assuming that they would have to be humans with fingers and everything they've made are with, you know, fingers and thumbs,
Exactly.
where their technology could be seamless. It doesn't even have screws, nuts, and bolts. It's somehow made as one unit.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? Like, which I imagine it is, because if it can fly through space, if space exists, it's not going to be a rocket ship like what we make, is it?
Yeah.
Shitty propulsion system. It's embarrassing. It's more like what they show in Rick and Morty.
Rick and
Morty, where, like, you know, or Futurama, where the spaceship actually doesn't move, and what moves is everything else around it. You've seen, you know, Futurama and the spaceship, how it works?
I've not actually watched Futurama in a long time.
So they've got a spaceship, right? This big green motherfucker.
Yeah.
And it's got like an engine at the back. But in one of the episodes, the professor actually reveals that it's not a propulsion engine. They turn it on, and what it does is it moves. Everything else moves around it. The spaceship stays exactly in the same place.
No way.
Yeah, so it kind of, I guess, morphs, like, you know, reality in a sense.
Interesting.
Yeah. And I was like, huh, that actually makes more sense.
Yeah, so like humans are not going to have the capacity to understand how to do that. But that's laughable. Again, it's laughable.
So yeah, I don't know.
I feel like there's more likelihood of them finding something that they've got like information around. I mean, like, oh, this technology from blah 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 blah. Oh, we can understand how this kind of works.
The only way it would make sense is if they acquired alien tech, but had aliens to teach them how to use it. Other than that, I'd argue that how would they figure it out?
Which a lot of the stuff that I've read where they said aliens exist, apparently that is the case.
Yeah.
If it is real, apparently that's the case. That aliens have been working with them, and that's how the technology has advanced so quickly over the last like 50, 60 years. Because if you do look at it, it doesn't really make that much sense. Like, how have you developed this so quickly? It took them so long to figure out like the basic stuff.
We went horse and cart for like 500-600 years.
That's what I'm saying.
To like combustion engines.
And then you went from like rockets, having a wire phone, to having the whole computer in your hand. Like, if you look at the computers we had like in 2000, they're laughable.
It's true.
They're comical.
It's true.
Do you see the shit we had to use in school? It was comical.
To be honest, I don't know how we didn't die of boredom waiting for the screen to load.
That's what I'm saying. But like now, even the shittest iPhone is faster than them.
It's true. Begs the question, doesn't it?
And I often think, like, actually, you little shits have actually got all the technology already. You're just releasing it to us slowly to make more money.
Yeah, of course.
You could just put a 50 megapixel camera. You could put a 100 megapixel camera, because I assume the technology is the same if you wanted to, but you haven't, because release it slowly.
Why am I going to sell you the best?
Yeah, exactly.
It's like white goods, like washing machines, dryers, tumble dryers, fridges. They have, or even light bulbs. They have the technology for them to last forever, but they're actually like a cartel. All these big companies, Bosch, etc., LG, they're cartels, and they actually build them to not last.
Yes, Apple does that.
Yeah.
Apple does it so that your product within 2 years, you know, kind of starts dying out, so you're encouraged to buy a new one.
They all do it. They have the capability of making, you know, products that will last forever, but then you won't ever buy another product from them. Why would they want that? Why am I going to sell you light bulbs that last forever?
Yeah, they don't want a customer once. They want a repeat customer.
That makes no sense. I'm not going to do that. I mean, I'm in the business of making money. The product is just a byproduct, you know? That's just my excuse for taking money from you.
Yeah.
Capitalism, baby.
2023.
2023.
Hold it down.
and you know, speaking of aliens, this is something that's quite alien to me, but for some people, they actually think it's normal. But this cryptocurrency WorldCoin, right?
Oh my God. Oh my God.
It's so funny that people are actually queuing up for it. So I think it's 35 countries around the world in, like, I'm assuming the main cities. You've got Mexico, there's one in England, there's Scotland.
Where is it in England? Do you know?
Nah, I don't.
Interesting.
I don't. I'd imagine it's in London.
Yeah.
But they've got these silver balls, right? And basically, it comes with, the WorldCoin comes with an app which you sign up for. In order to activate the app, you've got to go to one of these orb points and scan your retina, so they can confirm that you're a human being. Once you confirm you're a human being, you put in your ID code, and they give you WorldCoin for it.
What?
So people were actually queuing up to give away their identity.
What can you even do with this coin?
Well, they're assuming, I guess, that, you know, in the future it will appreciate in price, or the price that it is now, they can use it for something.
Sounds like a social
Not that I've
experiment
checked,
for
but
me.
it's probably fuck all. But the guy that's behind WorldCoin is the CEO of OpenAI, aka ChatGPT. Also, I forget his name now; it escapes me. But he's also he's featured on the WF
No,
as one of the members, of course. And WorldCoin's initiative, openly stated on their website, is to offer people UBI in the future.
So that's who they've made their partnership with. He's on the WEF board because they've said, cool, you do this and we'll combine with you to make WorldCoin UBI for the entire world.
And they promise that they don't keep your retina data.
Then why do you need it?
Why do you take it then?
I'm sorry, that's the most amount of bullshit I've ever heard.
This smells like some bullshit out here.
I'm also sure the government said they weren't spying on their people, but here we are.
Do you know what I mean?
But here we are.
But we're going to scan your retinas, but don't worry, we don't actually keep the information. We delete it after. Well, what's the point? What money are you making from this? Because you're giving us money. Whenever something is free or someone pays you to do something, it means that you're the product.
Yeah.
Like the restaurant down the road, the Italian restaurant that we go to, do they pay us to go to the restaurant? No, we go there and pay there. Why? Because the food's fucking good and the service is good.
Yeah.
The supermarket, do they pay me to get our food shop? No, we go there because we want the stuff.
Yeah.
If I go to the barbers, does the barber pay me? No, I pay the barber. So how is it that this company is paying you to do something that they're offering?
Scam.
Because you're the product.
It's a scam.
They're incentivizing you with money to do something because they know otherwise you wouldn't do it. Why? Because anyone with a brain can figure out it's not wise to let a centralized company own something so intimate like your biometric information.
It's
like
wild.
They can probably clone you with that. Like, who knows what they can do with that shit?
Yeah,
because they want it for a reason. If they're giving you X amount of money, they making profit off of it. So they're either selling that data on to someone or it's with the plans to use that data in the future to make more money.
Exactly. It's interesting because I feel like all these people who've queued up for it, are you idiots? Are you stupid? Was it 2 million people have queued up?
2 million people have signed up already.
Have you not watched any sci-fi movies?
Anyone ever?
Literally just one.
Like the worst ones.
What are you doing? People are just so wild. People have like no respect for like their self and their like body.
Care. Just like, oh, this shiny object this sounds like a cool idea. I'll go conform and do it because this advert showed me that other people were up for it, mate. Like, do you actually just think for yourself? What did you say? It's like people what?
Got the vaccine.
It's painful. It's painful, but it's like every day. I will never get bored of saying this, but I've said it so many times now. Every day is like a new science fiction movie.
It actually is.
Like just this week alone, we've had aliens, we've had retina scans, and people signing up to it in order to get money. Like,
yeah,
what?
Yeah, and potentially Jamie Foxx being cloned. There's just so much going on.
Along with Kanye West, but we won't get into that right now.
It's just wild. There's just actually, I just don't know what's going on with the world or what people are even doing.
This is why it's more important than ever to just do your own thing and let everyone else get on with it, man. Because you can't stop people from being idiots.
Yeah.
And I think the people that try to are fighting a losing battle. So you just have to shine your own light, stay in your power, be authentic. Know it's all bullshit, and don't go along with it. Let other people. If other people want to do it, fine, whatever. That's their choice. The people that are easily swayed that way, you can't save them anyway.
Yeah.
Because they obviously don't have any brain cells. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So why are you wasting your time?
Just crack on.
Do you try and convince a worm to be an elephant? No. Why? Because it can't be. So why are you trying to make it idiot smart and think for itself? You can't.
It's true.
They're it's in their DNA. They're bred that way.
Final question: what would you do if aliens invaded tomorrow?
Like negatively invaded.
Nah, if you just like walking down the street and they just landed their ship. Like we were walking to Tesco's and they just landed their ship and they're like, "Yo, we're here."
Try and chat to them, I guess.
Yeah,
would be the
first. Come round for tea?
I'd be like, I've got so much to discuss about. First and foremost, where are you from? What do you know that I don't know?
And are you helping the American government or any of the governments on Earth?
Do you believe in God? And if so, is it the same God that we believe in? What do you think the meaning of life is? What do you eat? Can I eat your food?
Do you feel love? Do you do drugs?
Yeah, all of them. All of that. Can I come with you to your planet? That would be lit.
Yeah, that'd be
great. Do you know what I mean? Imagine the YouTube channel.
That'd be so brilliant. Just after spend the day with the aliens.
Day 5 of living on planet. Do you know what I mean? Tasted their food. Bit funky, not gonna lie. They don't have taste buds here, so their food's a bit
It's just like a plate of worms.
A bit, doesn't taste of anything. But apparently I'm told it's got nutrition. Like, I'm going to try it now. Oh my
Imagine
God,
the man will be
so much
blown
energy.
if we showed them seasoning and if they didn't have it.
we don't have
the
it.
chef gods are here.
We're just there like, do that thing that you call seasoning. We're just there like, yo, these aliens are just like Caucasian people, man. No seasoning. My cheese.
Not even salt and pepper.
Nah. Can you imagine? Show them salt and pepper, they're like, in Toy Story with the aliens look up to the claw, it's like them looking up to us, we're just there with salt and pepper, they're like,
Everyone statues of us and shit.
But yeah, I guess if they turn up and they were like peaceful, then it would just be a matter of like, yo, I need to chat to these people.
Yeah, be like, you want to come to us for tea?
And
well, we got things to discuss. We'll show you
so
Alan.
many questions.
You can meet our alien.
It'd just be like, it would be a complete mindfuck. It'd be like taking 10 grams of mushrooms for the first time. You just go to a different planet, literally. But yeah.
Yeah.
That's what the crack is.
Yeah, maybe one day we'll sneak into Area 51, who knows?
I'll have to go to Vegas then.
Obviously. That's without doubt.
We're going to Vegas!
Let's go!
Vegas, baby! Yeah.
Yeah. Nice. What?
I had some thing up saying enter password.